Happy Hour Live. My name's Steve Bose. I'm with Lina Tonk, who is the new Chief Experience Officer at isolved. We're coming to you from isolved Connect.
Yes, we are. Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome. First of all, congratulations.
Thank you.
This
Thank
is
you
big.
so much.
Not many organizations, well, I shouldn't say that, at least not all organizations have a CXO. I'd love for you to maybe start there, because that's a little bit of a change for your role. I'd love for you to talk about that.
Yeah, I think you actually just said it right. Like, not many organizations are looking, many are looking to invest in experience. Many are thinking about investing in experience all the way up to C-level. Having an executive that wakes up or has a seat at the table that speaks of the importance of experience from the employee all the way to the customer experience. So very exciting. I think as a company, we were ready, and I believe you have to almost have a maturity to get there. Your advocacy, your communities have to be prepared and ready, have some level of readiness to then explode on what you will do as a team and experience.
Yeah, because the experience encompasses so many points of interaction, right? Say between the customer and isolved, right? From the very beginning, as they get introduced to isolved and the sales process, honestly, all the way through to, they become a customer, they become a partner, they become part of this community. Now they're maybe here at isolved Connect and they're coming to learn and to interact. And there's a lot to take on.
It's a lot. And we looked at it actually even from all the way from the inside out. So we look at experience on employee experience here internally.
So you're going even before the customer experience.
Yes,
you're talking
100%.
about. Oh, I'd love for you to talk about that.
Yeah, CXO will own also that part of the experience of the employee, because we truly believe that the experience our employees have, it will be really what goes all the way into their interactions with customers, the work they do for our customers, the work that we do for our partners too. So the way I look at it is start with your employees, employee experience internal, and then let that float all the way to anything and everything you do for your customers and your partners. And that's not uniquely about the way you make them feel, but like the tools, the things that you build, the products, the services that you release to be able to get them to have the best customer experience possible. So from the start to the end, inside and out, it doesn't change for us.
What are some of the ways, Lina, that you look at, say, starting with the employee experience and say, okay, how do you decide maybe, is it listening, is it surveying, are you talking to managers? What are some of the approaches maybe you're going to use to decide what specific areas to focus on?
Yeah, so I think there's a few components. We actually had a session on this morning, as communication we found is key. And we found that through surveys. So we do survey our employees often. We want to stay in touch on how they're feeling about us, how they're feeling about their experience at isolved. Are we providing them the right tools to do their job? That impacts retention 100%. But more importantly, so we'll do a lot of surveys, but more importantly is skilling is such an important aspect and such a big topic. So are we training them properly? Are we providing the right level of skilling for them? So we will do a lot of surveying, but it's also from the culture aspect. I think people, when they think of employee experience, sometimes they'll say, oh, so you're having lunches?
Yeah.
Those are components,
happy hours,
add-ons,
but parties. And,
but it's deeper than that. It's more how I arrive. What is in it for me as an employee when I arrive to my role? Am I able to do my job, and do I have the right tools, the products, the services, and have the right culture around me to do my job?
Yeah, I always thought, Lina, thank you for sharing that. I always thought frustrations, right? That was a good question to ask of employees. Like, what's frustrating you? What's the barrier, right? It's getting in your way of whatever your job may be, but performing at your best, right? Because I do really believe, and I think you probably do too, most of us, maybe not every single day, some days are better than us, but most of us really want to do our best job.
Yes.
We want to succeed. We want to be a good employee, we want to be a good teammate, we want to support our customers, all the things, right?
Yes. You know what? This morning we got a little very personal when it came to employee experience, and we touched right on that. Is we all have that feeling of we want to do our best to work, but it's, we're in the people business, all of us within the HR industry, and are we connecting with these people? In what level are we connecting with them? Is it just about their job? Are they getting their job done? No, how do they feel about their job? Because they're people. We are people. How do we feel about it? So I think it's a very, very personal subject, is how are they feeling, but do they have all the right things to do what they need to do and be successful on their job? And I think it depends on departments too.
Sure.
As you survey employees, you'll find that some departments will have different trends. Some departments will prefer more communication, some will prefer more tools, but being in touch of which trends you have under each department so that you can make a difference deep down.
Does that extend, Lina, at all, or should it extend to things that are happening outside of work? So the examples that we've talked about a lot on our show in this last couple of years are things like employees who might be caregivers or might have elderly parents that they've got to now take care of or have medical issues, or they might be going through issues themselves, or they might have young children, things like that. Do you think about that at all as well?
Oh my gosh, yes. It's been such a big topic. I mean, this is the topic of wellness and well-being. We all have this personal life that transfer all the way into anything and everything that we do. And we, behind the scenes, we don't know what people are going through. And that wellness aspect of the job that we do, employees will start showing trends depending on what they're going through.
Right.
Many will start asking for virtual work just because they become caregivers.
Yeah.
And to me, communication in that is absolutely key. For me, I work incredibly close with our chief people officer. So we are tight at the hip.
Amy, who's great.
Yes, Amy was amazing and so open. And so we work very together. I can't impact the employee experience without Amy. And Amy will likely say the same exact thing. I couldn't make an impact on employee experience if we don't work together. So Amy looks at a lot at the trends on wellness. And I think we're going to see a lot more on the future of work when it comes to wellness, well-being, what people will invest on as far as how do I learn about what my employees will need when it comes to well-being.
Yeah. Lina, thank you for that. One thing I definitely want to ask you about, since we heard a little bit about it here this morning at isolved Connect, and I know you're proud of the work that the teams have done here on the customer community. I'd love for you to talk a little bit about the people heroes and the customer community, both what's happened to date and then sort of your hopes for, say, 2024 when it comes to those building that community and strengthening it.
Yeah, so I'm so glad you asked that, because it really was a dream a couple of years ago at Connect. We released a community. What's very interesting about it is many SaaS companies will say you did it backwards, because many would release a community and then they will release an advocacy program. Okay. We did it the other way, and I think that is the way to do it. So we took care of our advocates first. We learned about our customers first. We learned about them, what they needed from us, how we could make them successful, and we built an advocacy group first before we went into the community. When we opened the community, or we gave them access to this community, they were already advocates. Okay. So it was like fireworks for them.
They were ready. Yeah.
Yes, they were ready. And I think that was the key of the growth that we've had, an explosive growth really within the advocacy and the community. The way they interact with each other is absolutely tremendous. And this morning I found a couple of customers, they were all having lunch together. Okay. And I'm like, oh, you're from the same company. I mean, this is a large table. They're like, no, we met through the community. That's
great. So it's much like we meet friends online, right, in our personal lives. Customers are meeting each other in this community and now forming bonds and supporting each other.
Yes, complete separate regions of the country, which was very interesting, but they formed this small group where they're supporting each other with questions. With one of them is building their roadmap, AI, what is that going to look for me? Incredible.
I love it. And I think that if you haven't done it yet, maybe you have, but if you haven't done it yet, I think there's a good white paper in this, right, that you guys could write that could be applicable really to any industry. It doesn't have to be software industry, right? It could be any organization that wants to build more advocacy, more community, more support. when customers support each other, it's not like the cynic in me says, "Oh, that reduces overall support costs, right, to the provider." But it's not really about that. I don't think that's why you guys did this, right?
It's about the value.
Yeah, it's building those bonds, strengthening that community.
Yeah,
and maybe even generating great ideas for future enhancements to the products.
Yes, that is. I mean, to me, at the end of the day, if we are providing value to our customers, that's really, I mean, why are we doing this, right? The end game is that we're making their lives so much easier as they navigate future of work. But when you see them together, building roadmaps together, that changes everything. They challenge us. They come to us to say, hey, we don't have this. Is this coming? So we then think of the product and the services that we provide to them.
Yeah.
So we are changing everything and anything that they're doing, but not to get too personal. So I was in a session this morning with Mary Kay Higgins, one of our longtime customers. She transitioned to another company, and she's now getting isolved.
That's sweet.
Her new
Yeah,
company.
you gotta like
you
when that
always
happens.
love that.
Yeah.
And we got deep into her roadmap, her product, and as we're talking at the end of the session, I just threw it out there and I go, Mary Kay, why? How has isolved changed you? And I truly believe that she was going to go into the product and the services
Sure.
and how she's about to change this organization. She's already doing it. And she said, isolved changed the way I feel about myself, my life, my company. They have put me on stages. They have allowed me to be more confident as an HR professional, because now I have tools that I never had before that give me data, that give me so much confidence in anything that I'm going to ask for. And I just dropped the mic. I'm like, okay,
that's a fantastic, though. Mm-hmm. It's a testament to the support, the community, the opportunities. I love it. And I love this space. I love HCM technology. And I love to hear those stories like that, how it makes an impact, certainly for organizations and for employees, but actually for real, live, and breathing HR professionals as well. That's a great. I think that's a great way, Lina, to wrap this up. Yeah. Great story. I love for you for joining us. Thank you for sharing it. And it's so great to see you.
It's great to see you. And can we do a shout out to Trish?
We can.
And tell her, Trish, we're finally together. You're not here, and I finally know where in the world is Steve.
Right here with you from iSolved Connect in Palm Desert, California. Lina Tonk, thank you so much. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time on the HR